Welcome to this week's Winter Journal Reflection. As we move through the season of wintering, I invite you to slow your pace, soften your breath, and create a quiet, sacred space for yourself. Whether you're listening while the world feels rushed, wrapped in a favorite blanket at home, or stealing a few still moments in the midst of full days, know that this time is an invitation to rest, to listen, and to receive. This week, we'll be exploring Barren to Beautiful, allowing it to gently shape our prayers, reflections, and intentions. Winter reminds us that not all growth is visible and that God often does his deepest work in the unseen places of our lives. As you listen and later reflect in your journal, remember this practice is not about striving or fixing. It's about presence, about trusting that even now, even here, God is faithfully at work within you, nurturing what will one day bloom. So settle in, open your heart, and let's begin this week's journey together, honoring the sacred collaboration unfolding between you and your Creator in this quiet and meaningful season. Week 8, Barren to Beautiful. Winter teaches us that barren doesn't mean broken. The landscape that appears empty is actually full of potential, full of rest, full of the deep work that must happen underground before anything can bloom above. What looks like death is often dormancy. What appears to be ending is frequently just beginning. And what seems barren may be the most fertile ground of all. There's profound beauty in winter's apparent barrenness, the stark elegance of bare branches against gray sky, the pristine simplicity of snow-covered fields, the honest clarity that comes when all adornments are stripped away. This is beauty of a different kind, beauty that doesn't shout but whispers, beauty that doesn't overwhelm but invites deeper looking. In our own lives, seasons that feel barren often become the richest soil for growth. The marriage that seems empty teaches us about commitment beyond feelings. The career that feels stagnant creates space for discovering new passions. The spiritual life that feels dry prepares us for deeper intimacy with God. What we label as barren, God often sees as preparation. The transformation from barren to beautiful isn't always dramatic or sudden. Often it's subtle, gradual, almost imperceptible, like the way winter light slowly lengthens towards spring, or how frozen ground gradually softens, or how bare branches begin to show the faintest hints of buds. Beauty emerges not by force, but by faithfulness, not by rushing, but by trusting the process. Observations of seasonal living. Barren seasons are often preparation periods disguised as emptiness. The most profound beauty sometimes emerges from the starkest circumstances. Transformation rarely happens overnight, but through a patient, faithful process. What appears dead may simply be dormant, gathering strength for resurrection. Sensory notes, texture, the smooth potential of dormant branches and the rich promise of winter soil. Sound, the patient silence of things growing in hiddenness and the whisper of coming change. Scent, the clean openness of winter air and the earthy promise of spring stirring below. Feeling, the quiet hope of seasons turning and the deep trust in unseen transformation. I love this reminder found in John chapter 1, verses 3 through 5, that everything that exists was spoken into existence through Christ, the Word, and that in him is life, the pure and enduring light. This light pierces the deepest darkness, asserting a hope that cannot be extinguished. No matter how dark it gets, the light keeps shining. Because in our own lives, the barren seasons, the winters of our souls, they sometimes feel like they're breaking us, don't they? They feel like an ending, like everything good has died and nothing will ever grow again. But here's what I'm learning. What we carry inside of us, the gifts and dreams and purposes that were placed there before we even took our first breath, they find their voice in the tension between this barrenness and beauty. The struggles and circumstances that tried to silence us, they don't get the final word. Instead, they become the soil from which we grow and thrive. Just like harsh frost prepares the ground for the vibrant blooms of spring, sometimes our greatest pain prepares us to fully live. It breaks up the hard ground in us, makes room for roots to go deeper, and creates space for something new and beautiful to emerge. The barren season isn't the end of your story. It's the preparation for a kind of beauty that could only come through winter. The light keeps piercing the darkness, and what looks dead is actually getting ready to bloom. Prompts to prayerfully process. Recognizing beauty in barren seasons requires spiritual eyes that can see potential where others see emptiness, hope where others see despair, and God's faithful work where others see abandonment. This perspective transforms how we navigate difficult seasons and wait for breakthrough. What area of your life currently feels barren or unfruitful? How might God be preparing something beautiful in this season that feels empty? What would change if you trusted that barren seasons are often preparation periods in disguise? Season of now. Look outside or imagine a winter landscape, perhaps a field covered in snow, bare trees standing against the sky, or a garden sleeping under winter's blanket. At first glance, it might appear lifeless, empty, barren. Now look again with softer eyes. Notice the elegant lines of bare branches, the peaceful simplicity of snow, the potential sleeping in every dormant plant. Can you see the beauty in this apparent barrenness? Place your hand over your heart and consider the areas of your life that feel barren right now. Instead of focusing on what's missing, try to sense what might be preparing beneath the surface. Speak this truth. God, you see beauty where I see barrenness. You see potential where I see emptiness. Help me trust that you are working even when I can't see the fruit. Transform my barren places into beauty according to your perfect timing. Rest in the hope that winter always gives way to spring. Natural observation. Study how nature transforms barren into beautiful through patient process. The bare branch that looks dead in winter is actually alive, just resting. The frozen ground that appears lifeless is protecting seeds and roots, keeping them safe until it's time to grow. The stark winter landscape that seems empty is actually full of hidden activity. Animals hibernating, plants storing energy, soil preparing for spring's explosion of life. Nature doesn't rush from barren to beautiful. It trusts the process. Each season serves its purpose. Each apparent emptiness creates space for future fullness. Each period of rest prepares for periods of abundant growth. What do you notice in the season surrounding you in this moment? Describe what you see outside your window, what you feel on your skin, what you hear in the air. If this winter landscape could speak about its hidden beauty, what would it tell you about barren seasons? What beauty might be preparing in the areas of your life that currently feel empty or unfruitful? How might God be using this barren season to prepare soil for something more beautiful than you can imagine? Sacred awareness, sacred pauses. Where did you notice unexpected beauty in seemingly barren places this week? What sign of hope did you discover in areas that felt empty or stagnant? Divine details. How did God show you glimpses of beauty preparing beneath the surface this week? What small sign of transformation did you notice in your barren places? Spirit's movement. What is your heart learning about trusting God's timing in seasons that feel unfruitful? How is your perspective on barren seasons changing as you learn to see with spiritual eyes? Sacred spaces. Where do you feel most hopeful about God's ability to transform barren into beautiful? What space helps you remember that emptiness often precedes fullness? 90 Days of Intention, Week 8. Growth. How did I choose hope over despair in areas that feel barren this week? Reflection. What is God teaching me about His ability to bring beauty from barrenness? Celebration. How will I honor the hidden work God is doing in my seemingly empty seasons? The God that designed and formed you knows you better than you know yourself. Your Creator planted the seeds of His image uniquely in you and desires to co-labor with you in revealing the beauty of His goodness and mercy in the world. He desires to walk with you through every season and is faithful to complete what He started in you.